pass that club, we're going to check the right side, and then we're going to check the left side. You may notice an asymmetry as you do this. But really, we're trying to get that club parallel or beyond. Now, if you do have a restriction here, it could either be caused by the trunk or the hip. So Chad's going to come on over here, and I'm going to show you a couple exercises you can do to help loosen up those areas. The first exercise is a hip drop with an arm crossover. So Chad is going to slowly drop the hips down to the left, take his left arm across his body, interlock the right underneath, and hold the stretch for about 3 to 5 seconds. He's now going to switch over to the other side. Again, holding the stretch for about 3 to 5 seconds. We're then going to progress into an open book exercise. Here, Chad is going to lie on his side and rotate across his body, working through the mid-back, trying to get rotation in the mid-back and also a little bit of flexibility and stretch in the front pec. We're going to finish with Chad sitting up on top of the ball. Going to hand him a club. He's going to place it out in front of him. We're going to bring the knees together. This is going to add a stability component. He's going to keep great posture here, and he's going to rotate as far as he can. He's going to bring the club back to center and rotate over to the left as far as he can. We're trying to really maximize the rotation in the mid-back, but at the same time keep stability in the lower body. Try these 3 exercises. I think they'll really help with your rotation. My name is Ken McDonald, Director of Fitness here at PGA National Resort Spa. And today I'm going to talk a little about balance and balance in the golf swing. What is balance? Well, basically balance is the body's ability to maintain its center of gravity over its base of support. Now I have the balance zone training system here. What I'm going to do is show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to stand on the board like so, and notice that I'm situated right over the mid-arch of the foot. Now it's this part of the foot that's designed for rotating. The balls of the feet are designed for jumping. Obviously, we want to avoid that position in the golf swing. But all too often, we see people get stuck at impact where their weight shifts forward onto their toes. Consequently, they come out of their posture just to maintain balance. Now, I'm going to bring Chad over here to show a couple of exercises you can do. I'm going to have him stand on the board. And then I'm just going to have him take some back swings here. He's going to really focus on stability of the lower body. Very good. He's going to really try to maintain a stable position in the mid-arch of the foot, really trying to avoid any deviation forward or back. Good. Now he's going to work through the hip. Good. But I want you to try to keep that upper body still, and we're just going to rotate the lower body. Perfect. So here I'm stabilizing his upper body, but he's getting good movement through the hip. We can think of this as basically leading the downswing. Now we're going to make it a little bit more dynamic. Good. Chad's going to throw me the ball, all the while trying to maintain balance through the shot, finishing strong on that lead leg. Try these couple exercises. I think they're really going to help with your balance in the golf swing. My name is Ken McDonald. I'm the Director of Fitness here at PGA National Resort Spa. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about power. Now, one of the most common questions I get asked in the gym is, how do I hit the ball farther? Now, while that question has a multitude of answers, really when it comes down to it, if you want to swing fast, you got to train fast. So I'm going to show you a couple power exercises you can do in your program to help get you a little bit more speed in your swing. Chad's going to help me out. The first one we're going to talk about here is a rotational exercise, in which he's going to chop or bounce the ball to me. Now notice he's in a lunge position, so we're challenging his stability. He's also creating separation here. His upper body's covering his lower body. Now I want you to really put some effort into these. Bounce pass. Good. Notice how we snap in the hands at impact? Boom. Excellent. Good. We're going to move on to another exercise. We're going to take a look at power through the chest and through the pushing motion. So Chad's going to lie down, good stable base, and he's going to drive the ball up in the air. Good. He's going to do it again, driving up. That's it. One more. Good. We're going to do it on both sides. Chad's now going to show you a lower body exercise. He's first going to do some lateral bounding where he's focusing on speed. Why don't you go ahead and drive. Good. Now notice the motion's quick here. He needs to be stable on each side and drives forcefully. The idea being he doesn't want to spend too much time on each foot. As soon as he lands, he's bounding right back to the other side. Now we're going to see an exercise where he's focusing on distance. Stabilize and jump. Good. So he's really shooting off that leg each time. This is going to help get you some power in that lower body, which is very important in the golf swing. My name is Ken McDonald, and I'm the Director of Fitness here at PGA National Resort and Spa. I'm going to ask you, how many of you actually stretch before you play? Well, what if I told you that stretching could actually be detrimental to performance? Now that being said, there's really two kinds of stretches we're talking about here. We can talk about static stretching, which is basically taking a muscle through a range of motion and holding it for a certain period of time. And the other kind of stretching is called dynamic stretching or dynamic warm-up. A typical example of a dynamic exercise would be a lunge. As you can see, I'm lengthening the quadricep, lengthening the hip flexors here, but I'm doing it in a repetitive movement. I'm taking it through a controlled range of motion. This is very important when we talk about what to do and when to do it. So research has shown that static stretching before you play can actually decrease club head speed and decrease accuracy. But a dynamic warm-up on the opposite end can actually increase speed and increase accuracy and make you overall play a little bit better round of golf when you go out. So I want to show you an example of two. The first one, a static stretch here, would be if I were to stretch my shoulder joint, I'd take the club over here and hold it like so. Now this is a good stretch, but if I wanted to make it dynamic in nature, I'd take the club, get in my golf stance here, and then work into backswings holding for about 2 to 3 seconds, pushing up against my right hand, keeping my left elbow, or my right elbow, pinned. Here we're working rotation. Another common static stretch we see is taking the arm across the body and holding, just like so. Good stretch. Again, we're holding it for a period of time, but not something we may want to do before we play. Here we're going to take our golf stance, we're going to take our right arm, put it right behind the left, and now we're going to work into rotation, again, in repetition, using the right hand to help really push back on that left shoulder to get a stretch through the shoulder capsule and through the muscles of the shoulder joint. So be advised, when we are stretching, we want to make sure we're doing the right things before we play. So let's save that static stretching to after the round and make sure we do a dynamic warm-up before we play.
Hi, my name is Jay Sue with the Leadbetter Golf Academy here at PGA National Resort and Spa. Today, we're on the 18th hole of the Champion Course, and I'm faced with a bunker shot that's relatively difficult. We have about 10 feet of green to work with, and the lie in particular, we have a hard pan lie. Now, we got some rain last night, so the greens are packed down. I want to talk to you some of the differences that you're going to face between a regular bunker shot and a hard pan shot. With a regular bunker shot, you're looking to use the bounce of the club and play the ball forward. With this particular shot now, you're looking to play the ball a bit further back. Another difference that you're going to find is in the follow through. With a regular bunker shot, you're going to have a very symmetrical, rhythmical swing as you go back and forth. With this particular shot now, you're looking to have a very abbreviated follow through. Let me demonstrate this shot for you. Ball about midway in the stance, weight left, try not to open up the club face to expose the bounce so much, and you're going to pretty much stick it into the sand. Ooh, that almost went in. Try this shot and you can improve your bunker shots. Hi, my name is Jay Sue with the Leadbetter Golf Academy here at PGA National Resort and Spa. We're here on the 18th hole where we're faced with the very typical shots a lot of amateurs will find. You're going to find about 30 feet of green to work with, and not only that, the lie is relatively tight. Let me show you how you're going to play this shot. First thing you want to do is you want to set up to the shot with a hybrid. That's right. Rather than using a pitching wedge or a sand wedge with a tight lie where you can get underneath the ball, a hybrid is much more friendly. Over here we have a 3 hybrid that I'm working with. Setup-wise, very similar to a regular chip shot. Stance relatively narrow, weight left, ball being played off the right foot. Now the grip, you want to make sure you're using a putting grip. You want to make sure that the hands stay very quiet. I'll demonstrate the setup for you. Stance, narrow, opened, weight left, ball off the right foot. Now go ahead and make a stroke, very much like a putting stroke. What you're going to find is the consistency in the roll, whether you're off the fairway or off on uneven lies. Try this shot and I'm sure you'll get up and down much more often.
Hi everybody, my name is Mark Albert. I'm a senior instructor for the Dave Pelz Scoring Game School at PGA National Resort Spa in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. I want to talk to you today about ball position as it relates to contact on your chip shots near the green. This is for when you're going to chip the golf ball when you're not going to putt it. Now there's a problem here. If you take a look at this ball position, you may see that the ball is closer to my back toe than it is to my forward toe. Now the issue here is there's an illusion. And the problem with the illusion is that the ball is forward in my stance. One of the issues is that when golfers practice, they never use feedback when they practice their chip shot. They may lay this down when they hit a power shot, their driver, or their 5-iron, but they don't lay it down when they practice their short game shots. Now in this case, if I take the same setup, you can see that this ball is closer to my back toe than my forward toe. But the real problem here is that if I get square with my feet, the ball's forward in my stance. What happens then? My head has a tendency to go behind the golf ball, my sternum goes behind the golf ball, my shoulder goes behind the golf ball, and in that case, the bottom of the swing arc is going to end up behind the golf ball and you might hit the shot fat. Your goal as a golfer is to eliminate the second chip shot and the third chip shot and the fourth chip shot on the same hole. In this case, let me show you a very quick demonstration. Here are 3 possible ball positions that I could use. I got a forward one, middle one, and a back one. I'm going to set up to the ball as we teach it in the school. The ball's on my back heel or ankle. I'm going to start square. I'm going to flare my toes toward the target so it gives my body some freedom to move when I chip the shot. When you see this golf ball is toward my back toe once again. The ball's forward in my stance, which is encouraging bad contact. I don't want it there. I actually want to get the golf ball somewhere on my back heel or ankle with my weight forward, my head, my sternum past the golf ball. It should encourage good contact with the golf ball. Now something that you're going to learn very quickly is this. The ball can actually go further back in your stance. If I put the ball behind my foot and I get my weight forward, chances are I'm going to hit the ball first before I hit the ground and the ball will go forward, which turns into a good chip shot. This is important. You want to make good contact, and if you want to make yourself a better putter, chip it better, closer to the hole. You're chipping better, you're putting better, and your scores drop.
Hi, I'm Matt Denzer with the Leadbetter Golf Academy here at PGA National Resort Spa. Today what I want to talk to you about is 3 important keys for a good shot routine. The first step is going to be the decision-making process. What we really want to focus on here is what we're trying to do. We want to make sure we have a very clear plan. How's my lie? How's the wind? Am I playing uphill? Am I playing downhill? How's my match? We really want to take all these things into account before we move forward. If we're not clear here, we're not going to be clear in the execution phase. The execution phase is the second step. That's where we're going to go ahead and get ready and go ahead and hit our shot. What we want to do here is we want to take that clear plan into mind. We want to take maybe 1 or 2 little practice swings, focusing very much on the target and what it is that we want to do, and then we're going to accept the result. So as I get set up here, focus on my target and make a nice swing. Now the third thing, and this is the thing that I feel like most people struggle with the most, is the accepting phase. We really need to accept that shot, good, bad, or otherwise. That's the key, because that shot's over with. We cannot go back in time and get that again. So make sure when you play, we're going to focus on 3 things. 1, we're going to come up with a very clear plan. Number 2, we're going to execute that plan. And number 3, we're going to accept that. Focus on these 3 steps, and I really feel like they're going to help you with your consistency with your rounds. Hi, I'm Matt Denzer from the David Leadbetter Golf Academy here at PGA National Resort Spa. What I'd like to do today is talk to you a little bit about how to gain a little bit of extra distance with your driver. Now, one of the most important things that we really need to take in mind when we're hitting the new big drivers is that we want to make sure we're hitting the ball with a slightly ascending blow. One of the most common mistakes that I see from a lot of amateurs is that in to out type of a swing where the club is actually coming on a slightly descending blow. What that does is it puts a little bit of extra spin on the golf ball and causes the ball to travel a lot shorter distance. So what we're going to do to counteract this is, number 1, we're going to take a little bit wider stance. Number 2, we're going to actually make sure that my spine is tilted slightly away from the target. Number 3, a little bit of extra weight on my right foot. So as I go back, this is going to allow me to make a nice big turn and to create a little bit of extra coil. This will also help me with that slightly ascending blow. So let's take a look. Number 1, nice wide stance. Number 2, a little bit of extra tilt to the right, a little extra pressure on your right foot. If you work on these couple things, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the extra distance that you pick up. Hi, I'm Matt Denzer from the David Leadbetter Golf Academy here at PGA National Resort Spa. Today what I want to talk to you about is simple things that we can do when we're on the golf course to not let things get so complicated. I feel like we've all got a million different swing thoughts, but really if we can focus on 3 things to do each and every time, I think those are the biggest things to focus on to be more consistent. So the very first thing is going to be, let's make sure we're holding the club correctly, that we start with a very nice neutral grip. So the thing I'm going to look for, this little V here formed by my index finger and my thumb, I want to make sure that points towards my right collarbone. And remember, grip the club loosely. We don't want to be choking it too hard. Now the second thing that I want to focus on is really my posture. This is going to really control how your body moves in the golf swing. So remember, start nice and tall. We're going to bend a little bit from our hips, have a little bit of knee flex. We really want to be nice and athletic. Put your body in a good position to move in the golf swing. Now the third thing, and this isn't something that's focused on quite as much, but really pay attention to the angles of your body or the lines of your body. I want to make sure that my feet, knees, hips, shoulders are all pointed in the same direction. One of the most common faults that I see for someone who tends to hit a slice is if we get the upper body too open at address. This very much causes that in to out type of a swing. So make sure feet, knees, and hips are all very square at address. So if you can learn to focus on these 3 things without getting too many other swing thoughts in mind, that's going to be your biggest key to success. Hi, I'm Matt Denzer from the David Leadbetter Golf Academy here at PGA National Resort Spa. One of the things that I want to talk to you today is about how to flight the golf ball. One of the things that we have here a lot at PGA National is high winds. So I want to teach you a new shot for your arsenal, how to hit that flat, boring golf shot without getting it too much up in the wind. Now there's a couple keys that we're going to do here. One of the first things I want to talk about though, before we get too far ahead of